So welcome to the version 9 promotion tool webinar. Please, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to raise your hand. I will try to keep an eye on it and answer your question as quickly as I possibly can. But I am going to minimize this screen a little bit and just kind of keep an eye out for when I see hands raised. So as you're all aware, this is the main screen of Retail Pro. Now, the promotion tool is actually a plugin to this. It's a plugin developed by the developer, but it is a plugin to this. So it is not automatically set up in your version 9. So that's the first thing that I want to look up, is setting up the promotion tool for you. So I'm going to minimize my Retail Pro, and I'm going to open up my computer. Now, my Retail Pro is loaded on my local D drive. For most of you, it's going to be on your R drive. I'm going to open up my D, open up my Retail Pro 9, and in there we have an R Pro Prom folder. Now, when I open that up, there are 4 files in there, 2 of which we're going to need to copy and move. So we need to copy the, I'm missing one because I'd already moved it. So let me get that in there so you can see what file it is. Okay, there we go. Copy it out. Okay. So the 2 files that you really want to focus on is the RProProm DLL. That's what's going to help the program run. And then the MNF file. So if I hold down the control key, I can right click and copy these. And these are going to go back up 1 level into the plugin folder. Now, the plugins is the last part when Retail Pro 9 loads. You've probably all seen it and just not really paid attention to it. But one of the last things that it loads is the things that are in the plugin folder. So you would paste these in here. Mine are already in there, so I'm just going to overwrite them. Okay, it won't let me. Okay, we'll just skip. Okay. Okay, so once those are in place, I'm going to go back up here to the promotion folder and right-click on it and ask it to create a shortcut for me. Now, or you could drag it out onto the desktop if you wanted. I already have a shortcut over here, so I'm not going to add another one. But I do recommend that you put a shortcut here. This is the only way that you're going to be able to get into the promotion tool, and having to dig your way down to run this executable from here is not going to be very convenient. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the promotion tool. Now, the very first time that you open this, let me go ahead and log in here. Okay, the very first time that you open this, you may get an error message, something about the buy reason. Okay, I'm just going to minimize this for a moment. If you get that error message that it can't load the buy reason filter, the answer, the fix to that is to right-click on your shortcut and go down to the properties. Move this over where everybody can see. And right here at the end of the target line, you're going to put in space /fix DB or database. We wanted to fix the promotion database. You would apply this and click OK, then come back over here and take that out. So the same path, right click, go to properties, take this out of here, and that will fix that error. Okay. It happens the first time that you set up the promotions tool, whether you're on version 8 or version 9, you do get that message. So once that's fixed, you are able to open up the promotion tool and you are able to go through and set up some different settings. Now, just like in version 9 in regular Retail Pro, there are preferences that need to be turned on. So we're going to go to options. The very first thing that you need to do is to turn on the promotion plugin. This right here is what will make or break whether or not it will work. If this is not turned on, it is not going to run any promotions for you. Now, there are some other options here. that kind of go hand in hand with our different promos along the top. Show discount debug level on startup. This would be if you're getting error messages. I never really set this one. I usually set it for none. But if you are having problems, sometimes setting it to the minimum or to the normal will make a difference. Now, inventory field to use for storing quantity discount weight. So you'll notice up here at the top, we have a quantity discount. Okay, you just need to determine what user-defined field or auxiliary field you want to use to store that discount weight. So, and that's what most of these settings are, is if you're going to do the customer pricing, customer field to use for customer listening. It could be info 1 or info 2. Obviously, if you're using one or the other, set it for the opposite one. I'm going to leave mine on info 1. Inventory field to use for excluding items. So let's say that you're putting a promo on sale, or you're putting something on sale, but one of those items, even though it's the same department, same vendor, same style, one of those items, maybe your extended sizes, are not going to be part of the promotion. You could set up any of your user-defined or auxiliary fields to use as a field to exclude an item. Now, the mark that you would put in that exclusion field, you would set up right here, which it does default to no discount. So on those extended sizes in the auxiliary 6 field, I would choose no discount as a mark I would put on that item. Okay. Receipt item field to use for storing a manual discount. You do have the ability to manually give the discount, and again, you have your choice of all 10 of your item note fields. We don't generally recommend that you use item note 1 or 2 because they do get used elsewhere, but any of those 10 will work for that. Okay, the receipt field to use for storing the manual discount. Now you can use any of your POS flags if you choose to, or the note field. Now the note field is a pretty long field, whereas the point of sale flags are much more condensed. If you're already using the flag 1 or 2, then obviously you want to use the 3. If you're using all 3, the note really is your only option. I'm going to leave it on 3. Now the price decimals that we're looking at, for the most part, everybody has their price set to 2 decimals. Some have their cost set higher, but for the most part, everyone's price decimals go to 2, but if you're in a unique situation, you most definitely can change that. Now, apply promotion discount 2. Okay, you have 2 choices here, original price or item price. Now, for those of you that routinely, on a regular basis, are using a base price and a comparison price, a lot of times your base price is based on your MSRP, because you want to show a comparison of how much lower your price is over the MSRP. So in that particular situation, you would want to base it off the item price rather than the original price. That way they see a savings on top of a savings. Not only am I saving money because this store has discounted merchandise, but I'm getting a discount on top of that. Now, for everyone else that generally just your retail prices are what they are, you're not doing any comparison, you're not routinely showing off that you're saving them money, I do generally recommend that your original price and your item price really are the same thing, but I generally recommend the original price. So if you have marked it down, the discount would be off the original price rather than the item price. But again, it's your choice. Okay. Now, disable automatic promotion calculations. This is as the items are scanned. I will caution you that the promotion tool, whether it's version 8 or version 9, does slow down your Retail Pro a little bit. Now, with the automatic promotion turned on, or this setting not checked, every time you scan an item, it's going to look to see if that item has earned a promotion, if it's part of your promotion. So it has to go through all 5 or 10,000 items and make sure, or it has to look at the item that you just scanned and see if that item matches any of your promotions that you set up. If you disable it, then it will speed it up just a little bit, but you would need to turn on the apply manual promotion processing. So you have your choice of having it run those promotions, process those items when you press the tender button. So as you get ready to ring it up. Now, I do want to caution you, it's not uncommon for cashiers to tell the customer how much they owe before they get into the tender screen, because most screens will show the receipt total at the bottom. If you check this, we need to train the staff not to give them their total until after they've gone to the tender screen. Okay? You can also check off that when the promotion has not been applied. Personally, I like to let the system automatically do it for me, so I'm going to uncheck all of those options. You can tell it to ignore items that you've already manually discounted. Okay? You can have it always validate the entire subtotal, and you can ask it for confirmation after the promo has been updated. Okay? So those are the main settings that we worry about. You'll notice up here along the top, there are different tabs. You can say what price levels you want to be applied. If I click on edit price levels, I can say, okay, my quantity discounts, I want to apply to all my price levels. Whereas my promos and all of these, I only want them to apply to my first 5 price levels. So it just really depends on what you're going for. Okay, actually, probably should leave that. Okay, we'll leave it on all 5. Now the discount order is if you have multiple promotions going at the same time. So let's say that you've got a BOGO going, you've got a customer pricing going, you've got a couple of different things going on. If the customer buying this purchase right now maybe qualifies for the customer pricing and for the BOGO, you can show which order you want it to give the discount. So if I move this up to the top, okay, I can move this like this, check this box. BOGO always seems to come last though. Okay, so you can rearrange these however you want. Okay, lastly, here on the scheduling, you can define your seasons if you do run your store seasonally. Okay, if you're already using seasons, you know it, and so I would just make these match what you already have set up in your preferences. And lastly, the importing options, we don't generally use this. Because of ECM, we don't really have a big need to import information in from a store or subsidiary. Okay, so once those are all done, you would update your preferences, and my changes are saved. Okay, so I'm going to use the Retail Pro button in the corner, and that brings me back to the main promotion tool. Okay, now probably the most common promo that I get asked for, or I get, people ask how to set it up, is the BOGO. And that's probably because Retail Pro, up until this promotion tool was added, Retail Pro has never had the ability to do a true BOGO, buy 2, get half off the 3rd, or, so I think that may be the reason why I get asked for it as often as I do, because it's been a long time in coming. I want to start down here on customer pricing though. So what customer pricing will let you do is it will let you select specific items that you're going to sell at a discounted price to the customers that have this marking in their field. Again, right here, the customer field for the customer list name. So if I've put in the info 1 that this customer has this mark, then that customer, when they buy certain items, would be able to, they would get a discount on those items. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to type in, let's just say this is my VIP, okay, and I'm going to click on Add, and you'll notice that it puts it over here on the side, okay. I am going to add in a reason of VIP just to keep it consistent. That's the reason that's going to show up for the discount. Now at this point, I'm going to, let's see, it's been a while since I've been in here, so let's see, highlight VIP. Okay, back out of here, customer pricing. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time. I just had to reinstall my Retail Pro, and there's a lot of settings and things like that that I've realized are missing. So, let's see how we get. It probably is a setting I need to turn on, but for the life of me, okay, so customer. Let me come back to that one. Okay, this is actually what I was expecting to see, where it gives me like a lineup here. I'm going to go ahead. This is the promotions. This is the actual promotion. I'm going to go ahead and insert this. I can give this a name. Okay, so maybe this is my top promo. Okay, the priority is if I have multiple promos going, which promo do I want it to apply first? Not if I have a promo going and a BOGO going, it's going to revert back to my preference settings. But this would be if I had 3 or 4 different promos in here, what priority does this one take? I'm going to go ahead and type a 1 in there. Now, subsidiary, most of you only have one subsidiary, but for those of you that have more than one, you can dictate what subsidiary you want. Same thing with stores. You don't have to apply this promo at all stores, but you can put all stores in there, okay? Now, this is probably one of the most important fields on any of the promotion fields, and that's the filter for what the discount includes. So when I click on this little button right here, it's going to show me what fields are available to run a promo on. Now, the one thing that I do want to point out to you is you will notice that vendor code is not on here. So, and that is going to be true with all of the promotion tools. Vendor is not something you can filter by in the promotion tool. So I am going to go with the DCS code. I'm just going to click on add, and I want it to contain the value of APPWOMTOP. That's my department code. Okay, I click OK. You'll see that now it shows it's only going to include items that contain this department code. If I want to narrow it down to a particular style, I could choose my style field, which for me is description 2, and I could put in that it contains a particular style number, and I can list 3 or 4 style numbers. I'm going to leave it just on the women's top and go ahead and click OK. Now, you can also click on this select item style, so you can highlight, let's see here. I don't have my DCS up here, so I'm not, there we go. Okay, so I can say this item added. You'll see it adds in that specific ALU. So if it's a hit or miss, there's no way to filter it down. This select item style would be the way that you would do this. So you could list 5 or 10 or 15 different ALUs that qualify for the promo, and they have nothing in common other than you've selected them. Okay, I'm going to remove that one and go ahead and click OK. Now I can say when I want this promo to start. So we'll just say I'm going to start it this Friday. I can choose when it ends. We're going to end it at the end of the month. Okay, now this amount and discount type. Discount type gives you the option of discount percent, discount amount, or discount price. So I'm going to go with a percentage, and I'm going to say we're going to mark these off 25%. Okay, now this is very similar to, let me make this bigger. This is very similar to setting up price levels. The biggest difference is that with promos, I don't have to, if you're using multiple price levels, you have to give everything in your inventory a price for that price level. So if you have 10,000 items, you first need to copy over all of your prices over into this new price level, and then go back and mark the 10 or 15 items that are going to be promotion prices within that price level. This allows you to only have to change the items that are going on sale. Now, you can choose to combine with the quantity discount if you choose to, and you just put a check mark there. Okay, you can choose what price levels to affect. Okay, your filter level is at the item level, but you can base it on the document. I have better luck with the item level than I do the document. The reason that I wanted to give this is we're just going to say it's on sale. Okay, now the schedule, maybe this promo is only good on Tuesdays, or maybe it's only good for a certain time frame on a certain date, or maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you can set this up. You can set up a schedule if there's a specific time. If it's going to be on sale every day, all day in that date range that we've already set up, then don't worry about setting this up. It's not like you have to check everything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then last, you can actually create a coupon code. So the way that this is going to work, and we recommend this with all of the promotions, save your promotion and then test it. I cannot stress to you enough how important it is to test it before it actually goes into effect. Now here's one of the downsides of using the promotion tool. I need to close it. Well, it didn't like the customer list I tried to make, so, okay. And then I have to reopen Retail Pro. That's the problem that I have with it. Yes, it is a pain in the neck, but that way it picks up those promotions that we've set up. So I'm going to reopen it. And you see right here, plugin information loading. That's the last thing that you see before the login comes up. And that is when it is actually going to look for the promotion tool. Okay, so we are now here at the main screen. And again, I apologize. I just reloaded Retail Pro on my machine this week. I had unfortunately gotten a virus on my computer, and so it had to be wiped clean down to its bare bones. And yes, it does happen to us sometimes too. But that meant that I had to reload version 9, version 8, all the different incantations that I had, and I had to start everything from scratch. So this morning I was rushing feverishly to get some inventory in there. So my screens are not cleaned up. I don't have anything pretty on my screens. I was more concerned with getting the data in there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go into a new screen. Okay, now I don't even know my item numbers, so I'm going to go to Choose Edit Items, take a look at my item numbers. I'm going to add ALU there because that's what I want to use. Okay, that's what I thought. 23, 24. Okay, so we're going to go with item 23. I'll click OK. Okay. Now, Okay, so again, I should be seeing my discount come up. If I move over slightly, I'm not seeing my discount come up. So that means that I need to go back into the tool and find out what's going on. Why are the promotions not coming up? Okay, I'll discard this, come back in here and open up my promotions. Okay, so let me see what I did or didn't do here. So default stores, DCS code. Okay, that should be correct. Let me just verify it. Okay, apparel women's top, so I'm good there. Apparel women's top, okay. Oh, because my start date is off, that's the problem. So let's start it today and then see if that makes a difference. Okay, just minimize that, close and reopen Retail Pro. Okay, one more try here. Okay. Oh, I missed a 0. Okay, let's see. Okay, my discount for whatever reason is still not coming up. And now you know a little bit of our frustration. It does, and this is why we recommend that you test it. You don't want to assume that you have everything working as you should without testing it. So let's see what else I got here. It's probably something to do with my preferences because I didn't really set up any preferences. Let's see, maybe if I start it before today. If it doesn't work this time, I'm going to go ahead and move on. I don't want to spend all day opening up Retail Pro. Third time's got to be the charm, though, right? You know, I want to check something. Okay, I wanted to make sure that that was turned off. So it is. Okay. But I don't seem to be getting my discount there. So I will have to play around with it and figure out what I'm missing. But basically, that's the way you can test it, is close Retail Pro and reopen it and test it with those items that you've put on promo, and they should automatically, you should get a little window that says promotions calculating, and then it'll show you that the discount actually on there. Something's going on with my particular Retail Pro, and it could just be a simple setting that in a hurry, I didn't turn on. So I do want to show you the other options. They all, for the most part, work the same way. Quantity discount would be just like it sounds. When they're buying in bulk, they're going to get a discount. Now you'll notice, again, it asks for a promo name, what priority you want, subsidiary and stores. Those are always the same no matter what the promo is. Okay, I usually make them a little. Okay, now again, discount includes. This is the most important. Let me go ahead and insert this. So this is the most important thing when you're determining what items get a promo. Okay, so let me just take this item. Okay, click OK. Discount applies to. Okay, I'm going to choose the same item. Okay, so I add the item. Now, the from and to quantity. So if I buy from 1 to a quantity of 3, I'm not going to get any discount. But if I buy from 3 to 5, I'm going to get a 10% discount. Okay, I could set up another line that from quantity 5 to 7, I get a 20% discount, and so on. Okay, you'll notice there is a combine with promos. Okay, just like on the promo one, we had a combine with quantity, your different price levels that you want it to apply to, what reason you want to show up on the receipt and in your reports why this discount was given, schedule it if you need to, which days of the week or that type of thing, what coupon code you want applied to that, and a starting and an end date. Okay, I believe that that's all that's on there. So as you can tell, most of the settings here are the same as what we looked at in the promos, only now it's dealing in a quantity, from this quantity to this quantity. That's probably the biggest difference that you're going to see here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this and back out. Now the BOGOs, like I said, the BOGOs is probably the #1 scenario that I get presented with when people want help setting this up. Now, if you feel like you still want some hand-holding and somebody to help you set up your promos, especially for the first time, do not hesitate to call and schedule some training with your trainer. We will help walk you through it. It's a whole lot easier to understand it and to show you how to set it up when there's a specific goal in mind. So in the BOGOs, again, we have a lot of the same scenarios that we had before. So I'm just going to call this webinar. Okay, my priority, it's priority #1, the only subsidiary I have, and I want both of my stores to be able to give this promo. Now this is where you have the buy item filter and you have the get item filter. So if I'm going to run a buy 2, get half off the 3rd, I need to show which 2 they can mix and match to qualify for the 2. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to select an entire style. So I'm going to take this entire style and say, add this style. Okay? And you'll notice over here, it shows not just this ALU, but the entire style. Okay? Now, I have to buy 2 of these in order to qualify for my BOGO. So if I buy any 2 of this style, I'm going to get, and I'm going to do the same style. Okay. I'm going to get 1 item of that. Okay. And you can choose to apply it once, or if you uncheck this, for every 2 they buy, they get a 1/3 half off. So if they buy 6, they should be getting 3 half. They should be getting 9 total, but 3 of those are half off. So it could be a one-time deal per receipt if you leave this checked, or you can apply it more than once. Okay, the discount type I'm going to give is a percentage, and I'm going to give them 50% off the one that I give them. Okay, again, we have a start date and a finish date. I think I'm going to leave these 2 blank to see if that makes a difference in getting it to work. Okay, so start date, start time, end date, end time. Okay, apply to price. So this is very important. You can have the 50% off applied to the highest price item, to the lowest priced item, or optimize it. Now, most typically, people want it to apply to the lowest price item. I'm going to give you 50% off an item of equal or lesser value than the 2 you pay full price for. Okay, so I want it to apply to the lowest price item. Again, I can set up a coupon code. I can set up a discount reason. We have a buy reason as well, okay? And then here we can have it based on the subtotal, or we can have there be a buying threshold. So they can't buy any more than 3, or they can't buy any more than 4 and get this discount. Even though we've turned off the apply once, we don't want them to get more. Okay, I'd save that, and then just to see if it works, I'm going to close Retail Pro and reopen it. Okay. Okay, so one last try, see if this works for me. All those high security receipts in my inventory. Okay, let's say I buy 2 of these. I'm a little concerned that I'm not getting that pop-up, the one that says that it's applying the promotions. That's where the problem's coming in. So what you would see is it would come up with that applying promotions, and this item right here would go down by 50% or whatever percent you set up. Obviously, I'm missing something in my settings. Now that I think about it, I think I know what it is. Let me test it out just quickly. No, I can't remember where it's at. There we go. Let's see if maybe now I can get it to work. Nope, still not working for me. And I apologize that I didn't have this all dialed in beforehand, but this last item should have come up with a discount. So I apologize. So those are basically the promotions that you have. Pricing could be special pricing. Again, customer pricing is if you want certain customers to get a discount on certain items. Promos would allow you to put certain items on sale that anytime those items were bought, those items would show up on sale. Quantity discount is if, because they're buying in multiples, whatever multiples you determine, they're going to get a discount because they're buying in bulk. Okay. Pricing is very similar to promos. It's that you want certain items to be sold at a certain price. And then BOGO is pretty self-explanatory. Buy this, get this. Whether that's a buy 2, get half off the third, or buy 5, or buy 4, get the 5th one for free. You could do that as well. Okay. Now, for those of you that have multiple stores, let me just minimize this real quick. I don't even have my ECM set up, but for those of you that have multiple stores, I'm going to come in here and, well, yeah, I don't have ECM set up. But for those of you that have multiple stores, in order to share these promotions with your other stores, you would have to create what we call a move list. in Retail Pro, and it's in your ECM, and you just simply go into your station file, and along the side menu, there will be a button that says Move List. If you click on that, it will give you an option to add new, and basically you want to copy the promotion DB, that file that we saw in the promotions folder. You want to move that. That's the file that you want to move, and then there will be a place for where you want it to go. Typically, it's going to go into the same location that your promo tool is. We do try to keep things consistent when we set up your computers, but you want to make sure that this is the file that you're moving, this MDB. That's your database of the promotion tool. That's what needs to go into the move list, and that's what the other store needs to pick up. Now, by creating that move list, it will go out to all stations that you need it to go to. Okay? So any questions about anything that I've covered? Again, I apologize that I wasn't completely set up for today, but any questions that I might be able to answer for you? I would recommend, I do know for a fact that we have a couple of videos already up on YouTube in our webinar area. And if you go into that webinar playlist, there's one in there that's a combination of version 8 and version 9, but there's also one in there, I think, for version 9 individually and one for version 8. And I know the one for version 9, that particular webinar is all set up if you needed to take a look at the move list. Okay? Any questions at all? Okay, then. Well, I want to thank everyone for their time today. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules. And like I said, we will email you a link to this webinar on our YouTube channel. For those of you that have never, thank you. That is my granddaughter, and I think so too. Thank you very much. So for those of you that have never been to our YouTube channel, most definitely go up there. There's a lot of great resources. All of our webinars that we do, we now record, and they are all up there. So if you've missed any over the last year, you know, things got too busy, you couldn't sit down and watch it, know that they are up there for you to watch anytime you like, even from the comfort of your own home. That's the main reason that we put them on YouTube, is that so they're accessible no matter where you're at. As long as you have internet, you have access to these webinars. Feel free to use them for your own benefit, for training new staff members, but we do have about 150 videos up there that are almost all related to Retail Pro. We also sell and support QuickBooks Point of Sale, so you'll see some of those up there as well. But most of the videos, I'd say at least 125 of them are Retail Pro related. So please help yourself to any and all videos, and feel free to sign up for any and all webinars coming up. And thank you for your time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.